And today I am talking to Hakeem, and he's going to be sharing with us what has been his biggest challenge and how he's overcome that and how that impacts on what he does today. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. Would you like me to just dive right in?
I would.
I guess for me, it's a lot of I guess there's a lot of little challenges that kind of turned into like this big challenge. But the biggest one currently was leaving Cape Town. So I had visa issues when I was in Cape Town, and I was on my way to work at a yoga and wellness retreat I'm currently living in Belgium. And I had a moment of dyslexia, and I just got my dates confused on when my visa had expired. So they told me at the Joburg airport that I couldn't return for a year. And so then I wasn't prepared for that at all, you know? And so then that basically shifted everything that I had wanted to do. Luckily my kids and my ex-wife had already moved to Japan. So I didn't have, how do you say that? I didn't have that, as a burden. Not that your kids are a burden, not in that way, but the fact that I couldn't go back to South Africa, and that my kids weren't there anymore was kind of a relief. You know, it would have been a whole lot worse if my kids were still living in Cape Town and I couldn't go back to visit them. You know, it would have been a lot worse. So it all kind of turned out okay. So I got to Belgium, and the people who I was doing the retreat with, they suggested, hey, why don't you try to stay here? And so that's been about a 2-year process now, and I'm still dealing with lawyers. I'm still in it. You know, it's not a done deal. And then on top of, I'm trying to make it seem like my life is harder than anybody else's, but trust me, it's not. Everyone, like you said, Bridget, everyone goes through their things. On top of that, with the whole Corona thing, just as a twist, let me just throw the Corona situation in there. For me, it's actually been good, because it's actually allowed me to stay here longer, because I couldn't go back home. And so that's allowed the lawyer to kind of fight my case in a different way. So in a strange twist of fate, the whole Corona situation has actually been, okay for me. And I'm not talking about health-wise. Obviously, people are dying, and it's a horrible thing. I'm not speaking on that at all. I'm just talking about the timing thing. So being here, being in a foreign country, and going through this process has been very, very challenging. And I remember, I think it was last year. Tell me if I'm oversharing, by the way.
No, not at all. No, not at all. I think the key purpose for me, the key purpose in these conversations is about getting to what you had to tap into, what you had to really, really connect with in order to move forward and stay strong and stay clear on what it is you were doing. And there's something you have to tap into. We all have to tap into something. We all have these different challenges. So no, there's no oversharing ever, really.
Okay.
Ever. Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing I needed to tap into was that it's okay. So when I say that, there was a moment last year where I think I had like a breakdown. I think my brain just like exploded or something. And it was about 2:00 in the morning. And so I called back to my parents, and luckily my brother was there, and he kind of just talked me down, because I was not dealing with it at all. You know, I was just it all kind of boils up, and then eventually you yeah, it was, yeah, I felt like it was like a little minor breakdown. And I remember him telling me, hey, guess what? Like, it's okay to say that you're in a difficult situation, you know? And I actually, when he said that, I realized I'd never actually admitted that to myself. You know, I was always, oh, you got to be positive. You know? But guess what? You don't always have to be positive. You can sit and cry. You can you can say this sucks. You know, this is the worst thing ever. And the relief that came was actually a turning point for me mentally. The fact that I could actually even speak about it now. I wouldn't have done that, you know, a year and a half ago. I would have just kept it all inside. And the fact that I could actually like speak on it and say that, you know, it's a very hard situation to be in, was a great relief. And like one of the difficulties was that, which I didn't realize till a little bit later of my stay here, was I didn't actually, it was almost like a mini trauma, but I didn't actually get to say bye to my friends. You know, it was just one moment you're there, and the next moment you're not. And I know sounds like such a minor thing,
Mm-mm.
but if you actually have experienced just a sudden
Loss.
shift, a
Yep.
sudden move,
Yep.
it
It's hard.
it's, you know, without saying bye. And yeah, you can have the phone and what's up, but it's not the same. It's not the same as a face-to-face goodbye to your dear friends.
And
So
you were saying goodbye to, and I've been in that situation where I've kind of, all the people closest to me have just, for whatever reason, I've, you know, lost them for whatever reason.
yeah.
And that feeling of loss is, you just feel, you feel sad, you feel alone, you feel, it's horrible. It's flipping hard. I really, really get that. I do. I really get that. Yeah.
And I guess, you know, I think there's like this saying, there's, you know, there's always like there's always the other side of the coin as well. um Being here has just opened me up to other experiences, and the people have been so welcoming. So it's not as though as I left a group of friends and now I'm just stranded, you know, in the abyss. No, I mean, that's, you know, the people I've met here have been extraordinary, you know, so welcoming, inviting a complete stranger into their homes. You know, I'm having meals with people that I just met, and it's really been exceptional. It was just a mental shift that I had to do, um, in just dealing with like life stuff, you know.
So would you say, if you were gonna share your message to help other people or to empower other people, would your message be that life is a mental shift? And when you're open to possibilities and you're willing to let go and trust and surrender, beautiful things happen.
Yeah, I like the way you say that. I would add as well this thing about expectations. You know, I would definitely throw that in there somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know if I throw it in the beginning or in the end or in the middle, but I would throw this thing about expectations. And it doesn't mean lowering your expectations, not in that
Mm-hmm.
way, but just be open to, hey, guess what? Some things might shift. You might have an idea of a relationship you want to be in, or that perfect job that you want, and your expectations just go do, 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 do. And then when those things don't get met, which, guess what? Life is messy, so a lot of
Yep.
times they don't get met.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you're stuck on that, oh, it has to be like that. Oh, your life is
Tough.
gonna be a little challenging for you, you know.
Mm.
So the more fluid you are, the not lowering your expectations, but it's
Yes.
also being realistic. You know, it's being realistic, combining that with expectations that can also shift, that are not so locked in. They're not so locked, and
I
I
love
think,
that.
you know,
Yesterday, I was speaking to somebody, and he used the analogy of doing the comrades. And he said, you
hmm,
know, in life, there are no guarantees. All you can ever do is your best. and he wanted to
Mm.
do it within a certain time frame. And what he said, the beautiful thing about life is there are no guarantees, in the same way, like you were saying, you can't have expectations. You know, this perfect relationship and the perfect job and whatever, whatever. And it just never works that way. It just doesn't. And you continuously end up being disappointed when you have these expectations. So I suppose that's also something to say, is just expect nothing and don't be disappointed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a weird, I- it's a weird kind of balance to have too, because you don't necessarily want to go into a situation with like whatever, it's not like, oh,
Yes.
whatever. It's
Mm-mm.
not that, and I know talking to you from being in Cape Town, you're not a whatever person. You know what you want, and
Yep.
you go there, so it's not a whatever, but there's also this balance of, okay, well, if that doesn't work out like that, well,
Let it
maybe it'll
go.
shift in this direction, or maybe I'll do it like that, because you're not stuck. You have an idea, you kind of have an idea, but you're not stuck in that, and I think that kind of it helps to free us up, um,
Mm.
and everybody's different. So it's the other aspect is know yourself. The
Yeah.
more you know yourself, the kind of if you can deal with a tough situation. Some people are designed to be entrepreneurs. Some people need a boss. So
Mm.
if you're the type of person that needs a boss and you try to be an entrepreneur, something's not gonna. You understand something.
Yep.
You have to figure out. The you have to figure out yourself as well in the
Mm.
whole process. And oh, I saw this beautiful thing on Instagram, and it was saying like, um, I've never been this age. So when someone says act your age, the response on this meme or whatever was, I don't know how to act my age. I've never been this age before.
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
like
That's like,
you
yeah, and
know.
so many experiences we have, we don't know because half of them we haven't never been through ourselves. So
Yeah.
thank
So
you. Thank
yeah.
you very much
So
for
that
being
that
part
can
of
also
this.
go for experiences.
Mm.
We sometimes we haven't been through these experiences, and so we don't know how to act. We don't we don't know. It's all new. It's all fresh, and I will add, having a support group,
Yep.
or whether it's your family, close friends, your spouse, your whatever, but having that support group, whew, man,
Invaluable.
that's
Yeah.
priceless. They don't teach that in
That's
school, but that's priceless.
no. And that is another reason why I wanted to start this group, because my feeling is that if I can create a community of people that I've got varying degree of relationships with, that can form relationships within the group, they can watch each other's videos. So you get to get a sense of the kind of person and what that person's about. People within that can connect. And by the
Mm.
connection, by default, it will help people's businesses. So that's the
Mm-mm.
angle that
Yeah.
I'm looking at, because I think it's very hard to, I mean, you don't even live in the country. So you and I can't just go for coffee and hang out. But how
Right, right,
beautiful that we could have this opportunity to chat and connect. And who knows when we will chat and connect again. But at least we
right.
can be part of something. So thank you for being part of this.
Yeah, no, no. Thank you for the invite. No, that's beautiful. Thank you.